Welcome to the Oneness Movement for Humanity. Our collective destiny is glorious. Let's work together.
Hi everyone, my name is Mit Gopal. Today's podcast is a reading from my book, Preserving Oneness of Humanity. The title is How Do We Eradicate Racism? Racism is a sour issue loaded with controversy and stress. Thorny as it may be, we need collective action to address the subject. I believe it is within our intellectual, emotional, and spiritual capacities to solve this most pressing social ill. A testament to the human resolve is our collective achievements in science, technology, travel, medicine, education, and so on. Unfortunately, governments, social justice warriors, and charitable organizations don't pay as much attention to and don't pour adequate resources into eradicating racism as they do for other ills, such as cancer, diabetes, and poverty. To fix this issue, many academics have studied this problem and have advanced diverse ideas to address this blight on human consciousness. What follows are some of those proposed solutions. Rapid globalization means that homogeneous groups have migrated to different parts of the world in greater numbers than ever before. Consequently, many conflicting traditions, values, and needs destroyed harmonious existence. In such a context, is the concept of race still relevant? Should we strive to do away with the word? In Anthropology News, E. Thompson wrote in a scholarly article, a change in terminology is not going to fundamentally change all the conditions and impulses that accompany the horrors of race, ethnicity, nationalism, and similar ideological schemes. What this means is that the concept of race is deeply embedded in our psyche, and swapping words won't change much in the way humans treat each other. Similarly, according to Monica Williams, racism will never go away as long as there are differences between people that are unlikely to be eradicated in the foreseeable future. Monica Williams argues against being colorblind. She proposes that multiculturalism is better than blindness. To conclude, she makes the following suggestions. 1. Recognize and value differences. 2. Teach and learn about differences. 3. Foster personal friendships and organizational alliances. In my own experience, these are the most fundamental rules to promote harmony in a diverse society. Janice M. McCabe studied multiculturalism versus integration. She concludes that the fusion of different cultures and races into one mix will never happen. Cultural and racial inheritance is too ingrained in human identity. Perhaps it can happen in fringe areas. Canada is definitely at the forefront of promoting these noble goals. Researcher Kang Lee, mentioned in an earlier podcast, suggests combating racism by avoiding contaminating children's mind at an early age. There are two specific approaches. One, parents should avoid labeling people by race. Two, expose children to different faces at an early age to prevent racial bias. This could be tricky. If we want to celebrate multiculturalism, labeling comes naturally. But placing names on minority groups becomes detrimental when it has negative connotations. Often, labels are used to appreciate and include, a common practice in many Canadian cities, such as during Caribana, Taste of the Danforth, enjoying Greek food and culture, Chinatown, and National Aboriginal Day. Exposing kids to different races is a matter of fact in big population centers. In Toronto schools, students or their parents come from many parts of the world. It gives me hope that race will be a non-issue as children and youth are raised in diverse environment so that it becomes their natural habitat. An argument could be made that people should celebrate differences. It means teaching them that other races have positive associations, just as their own race does. Labeling is fine too. I have been called a brown-skinned person and Southeast Indian, which is true, and I don't get offended. Of course, the skeptics among us may not believe human harmony is possible. To them I say, remember the trees of human capacities that have yielded fruits in other social areas? For example, in 1916, women in 4 Western Canadian provinces were given the right to vote. Who would have thought that before the century ended, women would be prime ministers and heads of government in several provinces, including British Columbia, Alberta, Ontario, and Quebec? Keep in mind that in those days, women were considered to be chattel. The idea that women could have the same capacities as men was beyond comprehension for many. When it comes to racial harmony, I go even beyond the peaceful existence of diverse groups. In later podcasts, I examine how oneness of humanity, when achieved, will result in all of us being part of a global family, as promised in the scriptures of many world religions. Yes, the tree of our collective society will continue to flourish until it yields prosperity, harmony, and enhanced human capacity for all, the likes of which no one has seen.
If you'd like to listen to more content on the Oneness Movement, be sure to subscribe and leave a comment. See you next time.